Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, my name is Nona, and for those of you not new, thank you so much for continuing to come back and support my channel. I appreciate all of you so very much. Today I'm doing episode 101 of my Palette Roulette series, and today we are going over the Juvia's Place Festival palette. And you guys, this palette I had a really good time with. I love Juvia's Place. It's probably my favorite drugstore price point brand. This palette is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette. It comes in at $20 at Juvia's Place. It is 1.14 ounces or 0.127 ounces per pan. So we do have the larger shadow pans in here, which I'll show you in just one second. I love the artwork on Juvia's Place palettes. So this is what the artwork on this palette looks like. It is this brilliant like ombre orange cardboard packaging with these just masterpiece artwork on each one of the palettes. The back of the palette looks like this. It does have some information regarding the palettes and the fact that it has some pressed pigments in here. It has some eyeshadows in here. It is a cruelty-free product and it is considered a pressed pigment palette. So when they call things pressed pigment palettes, it's because there are ingredients typically in pressed pigment palettes that they can't market as an eyeshadow palette because they're not safe for use around the eyes. This palette doesn't say anything about it not being safe for use around the eyes, but it does have a warning down here for some of these shades that does say for external use only and discontinue if signs of irritation or rash occurs. That leads me to believe that those shades are the pressed pigment shades and may have ingredients in it that aren't safe for the eyes. However, it doesn't say that anywhere. I don't see that anywhere on this palette. I don't see it anywhere on the website, so I'm not really 100% certain that that's what it's meant by, but typically when a shadow palette is called a shadow palette or a pressed pigment palette instead of an eyeshadow palette, that is what that means. So the inside of the packaging looks like this. Juvia's Place does not typically put mirrors on their older packaging. I'm seeing mirrors start being part of their newer packaging, which is whatever it is, but I think that's also part of the reasons why they're able to keep the price point of their magnificent shadows so low, is because the packaging is pretty simplistic. It's not simplistic though because of the artwork on it, but it's just cardboard packaging with a magnet. The magnets are pretty decently strong. I have traveled with these palettes in the past, so I do know that their magnet is a pretty strong magnet. Inside, it doesn't have a mirror, so that being the simplistic part of it. These are what the shadows look like in this palette. So we do have 9 palette shades here, and of these 9 shades, 5 of them are mattes and 4 of them are shimmers or satins. They're categorized as metallics, but honestly 2 of them perform like satins, 2 of them perform like shimmers. So there's that. This is a very versatile palette. I was actually, upon first glance, you're like, oh my God, that's the pop of color that I need to go with every other shadow that I have in my collection. That's my complementary palette. But honestly, there are some really decent, like muted eyeshadow looks that you can get out of this, if you will, office friendly eyeshadows that you can get out of this. These 2 specifically being 2 of them with this gold is just beautiful. And all of these can be, even though they are quite pigmented on first application, they all can be sheared out to a beautiful muted, like almost work appropriate kind of look, if not work appropriate kind of look. So I did find them to be a very versatile palette, even though at first glance I didn't think that about this palette. These also lasted a good 12 to 15 hours on my eye. I would say I did fall asleep. This is pretty, something that is a regular occurrence here on my channel. I'm not putting on my face makeup these days, so sometimes I get lazy and just don't go wash my face at night, which means I don't take the eyeshadow off, because even though I'm not wearing foundation or anything like that, I am wearing eyeshadow when I go to work. And these didn't last particularly well throughout throughout the night, whereas there are some eyeshadows that I have used in the past that look fantastic in the next morning, because I've fallen asleep with them on my face. What I will say though is that the night I fell asleep with them on my face was also the day that I had tried these shadows without a primer on. So I don't know what these shadows would have looked like the next day if I had had a primer on my eye. I will say these do function better with a primer on your eye. Not any particular color. I did find that these were just as vibrant on my skin with like my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot as they were with my NYX Milk eyeshadow stick. So they are very vibrant, whether you're using a white base primer or any color based primer or a no base primer. They're pretty vibrant shades. They blend so beautifully, including the satins and the shimmers. They also blend beautifully. They're all very, very silky smooth to the touch. The texture was beautiful on them. There is no creasing with them, which I found also to be fantastic, especially for the two that perform more like satins, which are these two here. And there's also no fallout to speak of with this palette. There's not even a whole lot of like powder in the pans that you will notice with brands that have really pigmented shadows like say ABH or the like. While they are super pigmented shadows, I do think that some of them are not the same color in the pan as they are on your eyes. One of them being this red. I found that it definitely wasn't like this vibrant in an eye look, but I found ways that I could make a vibrant red appear in my eye look by, you know, mixing these two shades here, keeping it a little bit more on the red spectrum than on the pink spectrum, which happened when I add this one to it. So there's that. I also really loved this shade. As much not black as it is really the perfect gunmetal shade that makes it kind of fall in line with any spectrum of these eyeshadows that you put on your face. It can be that deepening up shade that you need, but it also, I wore it in an eye look with the pink and it also kind of came out looking like a purple. So it was a really cool eye look. I didn't think it was going to be amazing, but it was a really cool eye look. It turned out really cool because this shade kind of turned into a beautiful pink purple instead of that like gunmetal. So before I go into swatches, I do want to note that I did have a giveaway in my last Palette Roulette video, and there were unfortunately only 2 people that took advantage of that. So I'm not going to do my little spinning wheel because there were only 2 people. So in this we have Miss Alyssa Popes, who I absolutely love, and I love her daughter. Her daughter is Alyssa Popes here on YouTube, and she is freaking amazing. So you guys should go watch her videos, but especially her Halloween look videos that she's been doing these days. And then we also have MySoCalledLife 1977 on here, who is my friend Nona. And those are the only 2 that are in here because they're the only 2 that did everything I asked in the video, which was, please be an active public subscriber to my channel. Please be a person who watches this video and leaves me a comment down below telling me which of my first 100 palette roulettes was your favorite. And please leave a kangaroo emoji down there. They're the only 2 that did that. So you guys, in this cup we have those 2 people. So I'm going to draw out, we're going to draw out this one right here, and we are going to find out who won this Essence Good Day Sydney palette. And this is what it looks like right here. It's got some beautiful pops of color in there and also some neutrals. I really did just want you guys to have an eyeshadow palette that was good for everyday use, but also had those pops of color in there because that's kind of who I am. And we have Miss MySoCalledLife here. Miss Nona is the winner of this palette. So she is going to be so excited. I'm so excited. Had 2 entries. Miss Nona, you get the Good Day Sydney palette by Essence. And Nona, get a hold of me on Instagram and I will get this out to you. I'll just need your address. Thank you for entering, you guys, and thank you for just being a part of my YouTube journey here. I appreciate all of you so very much, but YouTube particularly for getting in on this giveaway. So I have 2 giveaways that I've done in the last like 30 days, which is crazy. Anna, I still haven't sent your box because I waited because of the hurricane coming your way. So I'm gonna get it in the mail this week. I promise. I promise. I just wanted to say too that I would be super happy if either one of these ladies had won. Nona is probably the most kind and genuine person that I know here on our platform, and I just love her so much. So she also is, both of them are super active on my channel, so it would have warmed my heart if either one of them had won. And Kristie, she isn't a creator here on YouTube, but she's definitely more for community over conflict, or not conflict, that's the wrong word, but she's definitely a community kind of person. Her daughter is here on YouTube. Her name is Alyssa Popes, and I will put both Alyssa and Nona's channels down in my description box, so you guys will hopefully go check them out. But Kristie comes out here and she is all about driving, you know, views to her daughter's channel, but she's also really about driving views to people that she deems fit for the views to their channels as well. I know, and you guys can go in the comment section of that video. She's like, let me set you up with some people. Let me get you the names of some people, because my channel out here it's kind of stagnant, right? We're not growing at all, and that's totally okay with me. Like, I never got into YouTube to make it something that I wanted to make money at, or that, I mean, it's fun for me. It soothes my soul. Honestly, it was more about what can I do that warms my heart, that challenges my anxiety in a way that kind of keeps it at bay, and that maybe makes me feel more social than I'm able to be here in this town where I know nobody and do nothing and there's nothing really to do. And this was it. YouTube was it. It wasn't about making money or getting PR or getting noticed or growing. I didn't even think I'd have like 1 viewer, let alone, you know, the 600 and whatever I have now. So I'm really grateful for all of you out there watching. But Kristie's like, let's get you some views, let's get you some people. And she's like all about community. And I just think that that is amazing of her, especially coming from somebody who isn't a content creator here on YouTube. Either way, I would have been happy if either one of them had won. And I mean, it's a palette, and that's right up Nona's alley. Like, she is a palette hoarder, kind of like me. So there's that. So let's go back to the Juvia's Place Festival palette right now. I am going to give you guys some swatches of these colors here. I'm just going to go first row, second row, third row. I am going to try and fit all of them on my hand. And you all should know at this point in time that Juvia's Place likes to give their shadows some really interesting names that I can't say all the time. So don't come for me if I say these wrong. I'm going to do my best. I don't know how to say these. Don't come for me. All right, the first 3 are these. They are Azifa, which is a matte red. We do have Uli, which is a shimmer ice white, and Ofala, which is a matte orange. And they look like this in swatches. It's really pretty. That orange one, I kind of got more in the white than I did a swatch that you can really see. So there we go. We just re-swatched it. You guys can see there is just a slight bit of staining with that red and that orange. Row 2, And this is all mattes. We do have Manwu, which is a matte like peachy tone. It's a good transition color, honestly, and can lean kind of brown in an eye look. It is what is in like my uppermost like brow bone area in my eye look today. Then we have this one here, which is Erigi. It is a matte fuchsia. And then we have Oro, which is a matte like Dijon mustard shade. Also can lean a little bit brown. And these two shades together appear very tan in an eye look. So they swatch like this. We have that peachy tone, and we have the fuchsia tone, and then we have the yellow, like maize color. Okay, and then we have these three here. These are all what they consider metallics, I guess. These two perform more like a shimmer, more like a satin, and this one performs more like a shimmer, but this one on the website is slated as a matte. It's definitely not a matte. This is definitely more of a satin shade. It is what is all over my eye look today, and this does have quite a bit of staining on it. So the first one is Kaliki. It is that like shimmer satin gunmetal. Then we have this one, which is Ava, and it is that satin blue-green, like teal shade. This one is the one that's listed as matte. You guys can see the sheeniness to that. It's definitely not a matte. And then we have, I'm going to put it here. That one is a Dogwoo, and it is a shimmer, like champagne-y, like sepia, like almost like white gold or butter. And those are the shades in the palette. I really do feel like, and if you're looking at this as I'm looking at it, I really do feel like you could get a good, solid, work appropriate look out of these shades. I also feel like it's got that nice pop of color for you if you're not necessarily into color at the moment but want to be. I feel like it's versatile. It's definitely work friendly. I feel like you could get that pop of color if you wanted to, but if you didn't want to, you've definitely got work appropriate eye looks in this color story. I also know that on their personal website, Juvia's Place's website, it did come in at a 5.0 stars. That is with 423 reviews for this palette. The ones that were the lower star ratings said stuff like fallout issues, eye irritation issues. I have sensitive eyes, and I'm not saying that they don't have eye irritation. What I am saying is that I typically have like eye irritation from many of the shadows in my collection. I didn't have any eye irritation, so it's very subjective whether you're going to get eye irritation from this palette or not. As far as fallout goes, I didn't really notice any fallout, really. I think when I wiped under my eye today before putting on like the rest of my makeup look, I did have like some blue hole underneath my eyes from like some fallout from this guy, but I didn't really notice it. And had I not put foundation on my face today, I probably wouldn't have noticed it, because I don't wipe underneath my eyes when I'm done with an eye look unless I'm putting foundation over the top of my eye look. So I didn't really notice the fallout. And that's not to say that there is, but I didn't notice any. Ulta has it as a 4.7 stars. That is with 57 reviews. And Beauty Bay honestly has it with 4.8 stars. That is 169 reviews. I think that 4.8, if I had to rate it, it would probably be where I rated it. And the only reason why I would rate it at a 4.8 is because I really did find myself wanting a black, a true black in this palette. This charcoal color is a beautiful color, but because it's a satin and it is a charcoal, it's not really a great deepening shade, and you don't have much for deepening shades in this palette. So I did find myself really wanting a black to lean into when doing eye looks for this palette, but I didn't have it, which is why I would give it a 4.8 star. Other than that, I think that it's a fantastic palette. I love Juvia's Place. You all know I love Juvia's Place. So, and I think this one is quite versatile. In just the 9 shades, that it has. First and foremost, you can pick this up and you can do a work appropriate eye look, and then you can turn that work appropriate eye look into a nighttime on the town, you know, going out to dinner date kind of look. And you're never going to run out of shadow because this palette has the giant pans that, you know, are really hard to pan, honestly. And because the pan sizes are big, they're really great for multitasking. I have been known to take my Juvia's Place palettes, use it for, you know, a week during this Palette Roulette series, and use it for everything on my face, including bronzer, blush, and highlight. So do what you will with that information, but this is a stellar palette, and you can get palettes from Juvia's Place on sale often at both juviasplace.com and ulta.com. So now we're going to pick a new palette. If you're familiar with my channel, you do know that I use an app that I pulled from my Play Store. It is called the Decide Now app, and this is what it looks like. It's just like a Wheel of Fortune type app. I do put all of my palettes into this wheel, and as we use them, I take them out, but also as I get new ones in and I've hauled them with you guys, I do put them into this wheel. To spin the palette, we just press that blue button there, and so let's just spin the wheel. All right, we got the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. I will be right back. So this is a palette I actually got in Ipsy, and this is what it looks like. And this isn't really a palette that's right up my alley, honestly. This is what so that was the cover. This is what the palette looks like, and then this is what the shadows look like. We have some blues and purples, a lot of neutral tones. It's very muted, kind of like pastel-esque. I'm interested to try it, but I'm interested to try it because I've never tried Dominique Cosmetics before, and I actually have 2 of these palettes in my collection, and I believe there's another one coming from Ipsy. So I'm actually anxious to try her formula. I've heard really great things. This palette probably isn't my favorite one, but I don't know. We will see. It's, you know, it's fall time. I'm not sure that this screams fall to me, but this tone here looks very, very unique. We will see. We will see. That's what I've got to say about this. So, and it'll be my first experience with Dominique Cosmetics, so maybe I'll do a first impressions or a palette bingo, something like that. We will see. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Congratulations to Nona for winning the palette in last week's giveaway, and I appreciate all you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that if you did, you're giving it a big thumbs up. It really does help our channels out here. It tells YouTube that there are people out there that like my videos, and it pushes it out into the YouTube space, and it's totally free to do. I also hope that you liked it or me enough that you're considering subscribing to my channel before you go. I would love to have you along for my crazy midlife crisis here, my soothing my soul peace of mind. I also would just love to see you down in the comment section. So even if you don't subscribe, please leave me a comment down there. I do upload content 3 to 4 times a week, depending on the week. So please don't forget to hit the notification bell, as it will make sure you don't miss a thing. I hope that you guys are staying safe out there, and I hope that your family is well. I hope that you're wearing your mask when you're out there in the public spaces, because we're never going to get out of this unless we're all masking up, y'all. I also hope that you guys are loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, guys, bye.